So, what is physics? Well, you might hear people saying physics is the study of the universe. Some might say it is the study of matter and energy, how they interact with each other. Well, from my own point of view, physics is the study of how nature works, not why it works, that the way it works, but how it works. Take, for example, say we've got a ball and you push the ball. Physics answers the question, how did the ball move? It does not answer the question, why did the ball move? Now, one may say, oh, no, 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 no. Physics answers the question, why? And they may attempt to answer the question this way. Well, the reason the ball moved is because of Newton's second law, for example, and then they claim that they answered why the ball moved. No. Newton's second law tells us how the body moves. So, in other words, physics as a whole, it's all about discovering laws that tell us how matter behaves in the universe, not why it behaves that way. Now, I read Newton's Principia, an English translation. I do not know who translated, I do not remember who translated the Principia, but it had a biography of Newton. And I remember, I'm not sure if it's in the biography or it's in the content written by Newton himself before the work of the Principia begins. He mentions something about how he himself, Newton, does not claim that he knows the nature of the forces behind the motion or the behavior of objects, so to speak. Let's put it that way. My memory is a bit rough now. This shows that when Newton was studying, for example, he never studied with the mindset of trying to figure out why things work the way they work. He wanted to discover how they work the way they work. Now, if we try to answer the why, then we get ourselves into deep philosophy. I believe, now I'm a believer in God. I believe the why, the answers to the why behind how, to the why matter obeys certain laws belongs to God. Like the answers to those questions belong to God or are hid with God. Let me say that. Not belong to God, but are hid with God. Only God knows the answers to that. And for us, He has set the universe in such a way that we can only discover how things work, not why they work. And I believe the reason He doesn't want us to discover why they work, He doesn't want us to bother ourselves trying to discover why the laws are that way, is because the laws themselves are supposed to reveal His character. Like as we study nature and we discover certain laws, in those laws we're supposed to learn about the character of the creator of the universe. Now, this is my belief. So, for me, physics, I'll say it again. For me, physics is a study of how nature works, not why it works the way it works. We do not know the nature of the force Newton referred to in his second law. We do not know its nature. We cannot see it. Hence, why there is room for a lot of theories. Like Einstein came up with his own theory of general relativity, of how he would visualize the pulling action we feel, we perceive as gravity, and all these forces of gravity in general. Now, the moment we try to do this, then I believe we enter into a state where we no longer make any serious progress in physics. And I believe that's why we have a lot of theories in physics. Like a lot of physicists are simply trying to create theories and theories and theories. They are no longer in that pursuit for discovering the laws, but now they're trying to discover or create theories to explain the laws, which I believe, from my own perspective, makes us move in circles and circles and circles. Like, we've got great minds right now in physics, giant intellectual minds, but we're not making significant progress. We're a very civilized generation, and we're not making significant progress. I believe it's due to the fact that we're now focused in physics and trying to find out why things work the way they work, and we've shifted our attention from how things work the way they work, like from discovering the laws. We've shifted from discovering the laws. We're no longer interested in discovering the laws. We're interested in discovering why the laws are that way, and we can never answer those questions. From my perspective, we can never answer those questions because we're trying to search in treasures, I believe, which belong to God, and He has not revealed to us. Do I think physics is for everyone? Well, yes, I believe physics is for everyone, but it is for everyone to understand, not for everyone to dig deep trying to discover the truths behind. Now, that's a line of work. From my perspective, that's a line of work someone has to be called to do. Like how we term it as passion today. It's a line of work someone has to be called to do. So, yes, physics is for everyone in the sense that everyone should understand science. But it's not for everyone in the sense that not everyone is supposed to be a physicist. I believe when it comes to being a physicist, then you have to make sure that you are passionate about the work. You have to love it. You have to like possess a calling for it. Like that's how I define a calling. Like if you're passionate, like really, really passionate, you cannot control it and all. Then I believe it's a calling. So physics is not for everyone in that sense. Physics is not for everyone in that sense. In the sense that some people are called to do the work and some people are not. And if they try to do the work when they are not called or passionate about the work, then they might find it miserable. They might find it hard to pursue the line of work. It's like, I believe a human being can do anything, like within our sphere. So, yes, physics is for everyone. It is highly important, I believe, for everyone to understand physics, but not everybody is called to be a discoverer of the truth or the truths behind physics. Not everyone, because it's a line of work. It's a line of work, and people are called or are passionate about different lines of work. Should we still be studying physics? Yes, I believe we should still be studying physics. We haven't exhausted the truths yet, and I believe we're far from it. The reason it seems that way, it seems as if we are coming close to exhausting truths at times, is because we are just majoring on the wrong parts of physics. Like I said, we're measuring on trying to explain the laws, why the laws are the way they are, instead of merely discovering the laws and appreciating their beauty. So, from my perspective, there is plenty of field, plenty of work to be done in physics, if only we would direct our attention to the right paths, to the right parts, to the right areas of the work that has to be done. I remember, and I believe a lot of people know this. In Newton, there's a certain quote I read about Newton. I do not remember the words exactly, but it was something along the lines of he perceived himself as a boy who was it at a show or something, like at the beach, looking for a shiny pebble and stuff, like appreciating the beauty of the pebble, while the great ocean of truth laid undiscovered behind him. That was his way of. Now, these are my words. I do not remember exactly how he put it, but I believe that was his way of expressing that, of telling us that there is still plenty of work in physics. A lot of ideas in physics lay undiscovered right now. So we simply have to direct our attention to the right things, to the right areas in physics. What is my purpose? My purpose, for me, my purpose, I believe that it's discovering the truths behind physics and sharing the knowledge. If I do not do that, then if I die without doing that, then to be honest, I think I would have failed, like in terms of my work. I wouldn't have done my work. At least I have to set the channel for people to follow and discover the truth, like at the bare minimum. But if I do not do that, then I would have failed. That's what I believe. So I'm passionate about physics. I'm really passionate about physics. For me, physics is like a calling. I'm still young. I'm still young. Don't let the face fool you. I'm still young. And I believe I've got plenty of time to dig deep in trying to discover the laws of physics. This YouTube channel I created so that I can share how I view physics with the world. Now, I remember watching a certain video where Richard Feynman, was saying, or was pointing out, because I have a really crappy memory when it comes to recalling other things other than physics and math. He was pointing out that physicists carry different frameworks of thinking. That is, as physicists, now I'm not a physicist, but I'm a discoverer of the truths of physics by calling. He said that the framework, the framework of thinking of different physicists might not be the same. Like he pointed that out, like the framework of thinking might not be the same, despite all of the physicists making steps and discovering truths. The framework of thinking might not be the same. So for me, this channel is all about not only teaching people how to understand physics, but it's also about revealing how I view physics. Like, what is my framework of thinking when it comes to approaching physics? So I hope to touch a lot of students, a lot of curious minds who might be studying physics or might be considering to study physics and are passionate about it. I hope to touch their minds, not so as to make them think the way I think about physics, but just to inspire them to follow their calling. I'm going to be making videos on different concepts of physics, explaining them, like explaining the different concepts of physics. And the concepts I'm going to be touching on are concepts I think a lot of people take for granted, which might hinder one's academic journey or journey of discovering scientific truths. Like those very, very basic principles, I think they should be magnified and really understood to the core. Like the framework of thinking around those ideas has to be like very thorough. So I'm going to be making videos on that. I'm not really sure what other videos I might make, but most likely my videos won't be lectures. Like it won't be like a university course or something. No, no, no. I'm going to be touching on selected concepts in physics. And I think I'll also be touching on selected concepts based on the on what people want, people listening to my content, people watching the content, or what they want me to explain. I'll make the research and explain. My name is Nox Mbata. I'm a person passionately curious when it comes to physics. If you're interested in seeing how I view physics, please do not hesitate. Subscribe so that you'll stay posted whenever I post a new video. Thank you.